Imagine sun shining, pink clouds in the sky, and everything is right. Imagine stars lighting up the night, and a shooting star so vibrant you have to make a wish. Nothing's ever in your way, scoring every shot you make. No, you've never heard of pain, because you're just high on life. Every day is Saturday. Life is sweet as birthday cake. Why can't it just stay this way? Like you wanted to, like 24/7, like 24/24 heaven. Oh, like you wanted to, like you.
Hey y'all, it's that time of the month again, y'all. It is time for me to tell you guys about my August TBR. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's get straight into this video. It is the middle of July, and it is time for me to tell you guys what I want to read in the month of August. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I suggest you subscribe to my channel. Every Wednesday and Sunday, Yolanda's Books put on a vlog about books and probably sometimes a little bit about my lifestyle. But y'all, I just really love to read books, as y'all know. So today I just wanted to give you guys my August TBR. So I have a good bit of books on audio, and I want to read those books for the month of August. So that is what I will be showing you guys as far as the books that I am going to read in the month of August. And I am actually mood reading because I just feel like I'm in a mood reading mood. So there is a lot of diverse books in this August TBR, and I really think I'm gonna love it. It's from romance to thrillers to just a variety, urban romance, of course fiction, but I just want to read a lot of different books in the month of August. So let's get started, y'all. So the first book is a book that I have had on my shelf for quite some time. Lisa Jules is the author of this book, and y'all, I wanted to do my TBR outside because like the weather is so beautiful, the sun is shining. I wanted to get me some vitamin D, so that's why I'm doing my vlog outside, and I think I am going to love it. It looks like it want to rain, so hopefully we can get this TBR done before the rain hits. But this one is called Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jules. I've had this one on my shelf for quite some time, and I think it is more of like a thriller, because on the front it says an acute observed family drama with bone-chilling suspense. So this is pretty much a thriller, and it says no one ever just disappeared. Ella Mack was the perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ella's disappearance, her mother Laura Mack is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpected charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it. Alright guys, so let's continue. So the first book that I will be reading in the month of August will be Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jules. This is a suspense thriller book. I've never read anything by Lisa Jules as of yet, and I think I have a couple of her books on my shelf, but I have not read anything by this author. And this one says no one ever just disappears. Ella Mack was the perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ella's disappearance, her mother Laura Mack is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in the cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughter and his youngest. Poppy takes Laura's breath away because the erratically preocupied Poppy is the splitting image of Ella, which was her missing daughter. This is my first time reading the back of this book, even though I've had this book on my shelf for quite some time, and now I see why I picked Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jules. Hopefully Lisa Jules will be another one of my favorite authors to read. The next one that I have is Red, White, and Blue. True Love Isn't Always Diplomatic by Casey McQuiston. I read One Last Stop, I think it was, by this author, and I was not impressed with her book. So hopefully this book will be a little bit more impressive for me by this author. I think it is a queer book, if I'm understanding correctly. It says what happens when America's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales. When his mother becomes president of the United States, Alex Claremont Diaz was properly cast as the American equivalent of a young royal. Handsome, charismatic, genius. His image is pure, immaculate, marking gold for the White House. There's only one problem. Alex has a beef with an actual prince, Henry, across the pond. And when the tabloids get hold of the photo involving an Alex/Henry altercation, USA/British relations take the turn for the worst. So, I don't know. Maybe this one right here will be a little bit more interesting for me than the One Last Stop, I think it was, because that book just did not do it for me. So, Red, White, and Blue by Casey McQuiston. I'm hoping I'm saying that author's name right. And y'all, I am so excited to get to this book. I think this book was on my 24 books that I'm gonna read in the year of 2024. I want to say this book is on there, but it's called The Bandit Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shawana Robinson. And if I'm remembering correctly, y'all, it's just pretty much about a lady named Maggie. She was in a town where there was a bookstore and they only wanted like certain books sold in that bookstore, and Maggie was just trying to like get more diverse books in there, more books that can be read by that community, and then it kind of like stems from there, if I'm remembering correctly. So The Bandit Bookshop of Maggie Banks. And y'all, I just love this cover. This cover is just so gorgeous. I love this cover of this book. And y'all, I am hella excited to read this one. I just recently got this one by Hannah Bonham Young, Out on a Limb. I just recently got this book not too long ago. I had to wait on the new cover because at the time that I really wanted to purchase this book, I think she was transitioning from an indie author to probably, you know, like a company or published company probably decided to actually whatever, you know, whatever they do, publish her books or, you know, sponsor her book. And then I seen it on Libby, Out on a Limb. I seen it on Libby as an audio, and I was so excited because I look at this book all the time when I pass by my bookshelf, and I really wanted to read this book. And it's pretty much a pregnancy trope, and it's just about these two here. I think the girl unexpectedly gets pregnant, and it just pretty much probably stems from there, you know, to being a like a love story. So Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Hope I'm saying it right, because y'all know I will murder an author's name. And I have a Colleen Hoover book here. It's called All Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I have a few books on my shelf by her, and when I first started reading, as y'all know, I was like so into Colleen Hoover books. I love to read Colleen Hoover books. So that's how I ended up having a lot of Colleen Hoover books on my shelf, which I don't think I buy as many Colleen Hoover books as I used to, because I have branched out to so many more different authors. But this one's taking a love story with a perfect beginner survive a lifetime between two imperfect people. So, you know, it has then and now, and it says, then the last thing Quinn expected was to meet the love of her life just outside her fiance's front door. Alright, y'all, so we actually came back outside because it actually did not rain, and I just really want to give y'all guys my August TBR while I'm outside. So the sun came back out, I came back outside, and when I did, it started thundering again, and I like it wanted to rain, and the sun went away. So we came up under my carport, y'all. So that's what we're currently at now. So let's just go ahead on and get this August TBR done. So we were in the middle of talking about All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Like I was saying before, I started back reading with Colleen Hoover books, and I was so in love with her books. And I found this one on, was it Libby? So it was on my shelf, so I decided to pick it up and actually read this book by Colleen Hoover. And just like Frida McFadden, like a Colleen Hoover book has not really disappointed me. But this one is called All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. And it says, can a love story with a perfect beginning survive a lifetime between two imperfect people? It has then and now. And it says the last thing Quinn expected was to meet the love of her life just outside her fiance's front door. And then it says 7 years later, their perfect love is threatened by their imperfect marriages. The memories, mistakes, and dreams that they have built up over the years are tearing them apart. The one thing that could save them might also be the very thing that pushes their marriage past the point of no return. So I don't know. I feel like this would be a very interesting book to read by Colleen Hoover. I don't know if I have actually read a book of Colleen Hoover's that surrounds around this type of deal. The last book I read by Colleen Hoover was Confess, and I actually did enjoy that book. I enjoyed the artwork that was in that book, and you know, that book was doable. So All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover is also a book that I will be reading in the month of August. And y'all, I am finally getting to Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I had this book, y'all. And it has been coming across my mind, coming across my eyes. And I'm like, Yolanda, you have to start this book. So I also have Powerful, and I was on the brink of buying Reckless, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy Reckless at the moment. I will at least wait till I read Powerless and Powerful, because if y'all have been with me from the beginning of my vlogs, when I'm actually starting to vlog about books, you'll know that me personally, like, I would like to get the first 2 books in the series before I actually get the whole series, to see if I will actually want to read those books. So I'm starting on Powerless. I'm actually starting this month. So with the thickness of it and me not wanting to buy the audio for it, I'm just wondering like if I will actually finish it this month. So that's why I'm also putting it on my August TBR. Of course, y'all know it's a fantasy book, and it says the elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the pledge, while those born original are just that, banished from the kingdom of Elia and shunned from society. So y'all, Shaughnessy, you can go over to her YouTube page and all of her pages. Just follow her over there. She is such a great book person, and I am so excited and glad to be a book friend of hers. But she recently put out a vlog of starting reading nothing but fantasy books with her friend Taylor, I think that was her name. And Shaughnessy is liking this book so far, y'all. And I have not met a book yet that I got as a recommendation from Shaughnessy that I did not like. So that's why I went ahead on and picked up Powerless off of my bookshelf and said, girl, get this book, start reading this book, because you have been wanting to read it for quite some time. So Powerless is also on my August TBR. Jen Han, I want to say is this name. It's called To All the Boys I've Loved Before. It's actually a Netflix movie. I don't even think I even looked it up to try to see the movie. I just have had this book. I've seen it on Libby, so I just decided to go ahead and read it for the month of August, so I can get some of these older books that I have off my shelf. And when I first picked up this book, it just looked so interesting. That was when I was just really into my romance, light fluffy read era, and I didn't want to read anything but that. And that's when I actually picked up this book. It says they aren't love letters that anyone else wrote for her. These are ones she wrote. So I don't know, y'all. I just feel like if you can write love letters to yourself, that kind of like tells you how you want your relationships to be, and that is when your standards come into play. So I just feel like this might be a light, fluffy, romantic read, because she will be pretty much kind of like seeking for somebody who she has written about in her love letter. So I'm very excited to read this one. And Jasmine Guillory, I want to say that is her name. I have not read a book yet that has not excited me, and I want to read The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. I can't actually remember the last book that I read by her, but it was great. And like I said, I have not read a book yet by this author that I did not like. So we will read this one. It says, when someone asks you to spend your life with them, it shouldn't come as a surprise or happen in front of 45,000 people. So guys, of course, you know, this is about, you know, it's like, I think like everything happens at like a baseball game, and I don't know if like everything is put on blast on that screen that be at baseball games or not, but I thought this would be so romantic and so cute, and I'm just very happy that I have this book and able to read this book. I don't have this one on audio, but still, I just really want to read this book, The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. And I'm actually starting out of order, which I will be reading the first book to this series also, but I have the audio to this book, so I decided to go ahead and put this book in my August TBR as well. And it is Children of Virtue, Vengeance and Virtues by Tommy Amietti. I think that's how you say her name. Y'all, I have been floored with the covers of her books, but I've also been floored because everybody's talking about her last book that just came out, The Children of Anguish and Anarchy, I think the name of it is, and the ratings are not good, y'all. So I have all 3 books, and I'm excited to read them, but I'm also scared in the same token about that 3rd book. And as y'all know, that first book, Children of Blood and Bones, is actually becoming to be a movie, and I think they have actually started recording that movie this month, if I'm not mistaken. But I am very excited to read at least 1 or 2 of her books, and I hope the last book does not be as bad of a read as it is to all the other booktubers that I follow. But I'm just very excited to read this book, y'all. And I think I have read the synopsis and everything of this book like on a couple of my other channels, so I'm not gonna read the back of this book here, but this is also a book that is on my TBR, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Very excited to read this book. The last 2 books on my August TBR, this one is a Penelope Douglas book. Y'all, I feel so silly sometimes when I try to say these authors' name, but this is a Penelope Douglas book. I've read Credence by this author. I have Pump 57, and what is that other book I have on my shelf by her? God, I cannot remember. What is that other book? Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's Birthday Girl. Oh, I cannot even remember that other book that I have on my shelf by this author. But one of my coworkers was telling me about Kill Switch, and I see that this is a series type book, but she said they can also be read as standalones. And when I was looking on my audio, I noticed that I had I mispronounced the name of that book, y'all. The name of this book is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas on my audio. So this is another book that I will be reading in the month of August by Penelope Douglas. A lot of people had so many mixed feelings about Credence by Penelope Douglas. I had mixed feelings as well at first, but when I actually thought about the situation, it's like I mean, like, were they really kin, or were they really just people that was born into the same family? So I kind of got past it a little bit, but I can also see people's feelings about, you know, not being able to finish that book, DNF in that book, because they can't get over the point of thinking that like that is her uncle and her cousins. But y'all, that book is so spicy. It is really spicy, really. Oh, I don't know what to say about Credence, y'all. I think I gave it like a 4.5 or a 5-star book, because y'all, I really did enjoy that book. And I think I more enjoyed the spice and the smut that was in that book than anything. But we will be reading this book by Penelope Douglas. And on the bottom, y'all, of that title, it says A Devil's Night Novel. So it says, dreams must be a heart's desire, but nightmares are its obsession, in the first novel of dark romance series from Penelope Douglas. So this is a dark romance. She is I guess also a dark romance writer. But it says Erica knows her boyfriend's older brother is handsome, straight, strong, and completely terrifying. A college basketball star gone pro, he's more concerned with the dirt on his shoe than he is with her. But she saw him. And this is her boyfriend's older brother now, y'all. She heard him. The things that he did and the deeds that he hid. For years, Rika bit her nails, unable to look away. Now she's in college, but, and this is Erica, but she hasn't stopped watching him. He's bad, and things she seen aren't content to stay in her head anymore, because he's finally noticed her. So y'all, I am very excited to read this book. The back of this book seems like to me that this book might be a little smutty, and also might be a little spicy. I don't know. But with it being as far as like, you know, it sounds like she's interested in her boyfriend's brother. So like, come on sis, your boyfriend's brother? Like, so I'm very interested to read this book by Penelope Douglas. And the last book that I will be reading as far as on my TBR, and of course y'all know I always like to dip in some other books, that's just Yolanda's books, but it is the second book to gosh, I can't even remember the name of that series, but it's a Kennedy Ryan book. It's called This Could Be Us. I read Before I Let Go, and I fell in love with Yasmin and Josiah. So this one is about Soledad, which is Yasmin's friend, and Before I Let Go. It says Soledad Barnes has her life all planned out, because of course she does. She plans everything. She fixes everything. She never met a party she couldn't host or a chore she couldn't lead. But none of her valued talents helped when the life she built with the man who was supposed to be forever goes poof in a cloud of betrayal and dissolution. So this one is kind of, seem like to me, a little bit more different than Before I Let Go, because in Before I Let Go, I think it kind of stemmed around Yasmin having a miscarriage, and she wanted a divorce because of the depression state that she got when she actually lost a child. And like, they got divorced but really didn't want to, really wasn't supposed to. And so like, that was kind of like a second chance at romance, you know, to get their relationship back to the way it's supposed to be, because in the very beginning they should not really have been divorced. But this one right here is pretty much, I think, is about betrayal. Like Soledad's husband, I'm guessing, like slept with somebody else and things of that nature. So I'm very interested to see what this one is all about, y'all. Kennedy Ryan books, the books that I have read from her, and I think it was only Before I Let Go, but like, her books are books that I would like keep on my shelf and want to read again, because I do want to read Before I Let Go again, because that book was so good. So This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan is a book that I will also be reading in the month of August for my August TBR. All right guys, so these are all the books that I want to read for the month of August. like I said, these are a variety of books, and sometimes that is exactly the way I like it. I like to read a variety of books, from thrillers to sex change romance, pregnancy tropes, contemporary romance, true love, like all the things, y'all. I am so excited about my August TBR, and I did jump y'all around in different areas that I was giving y'all a review or a TBR on my August books, and I am sorry, but I really kind of wanted to be outside, and I was just trying to cooperate with the weather. So y'all, if y'all have read any of these books, comment down below what you think about these books. Do you think these books are worth it? Like I said, I just love to read books, y'all. I'm not a big fantasy girl, but I will get some fantasy books if that book has been getting a lot of hype in the fantasy world. But guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. As you can see, I have been getting my vitamin D today because my skin is glistening. I've been in the sun, I've read some books, I'm doing some editing, so like I am being very, very productive today, and it is such a joy. But I also did my skincare this morning, so and what I use, guys, I use like a soap, I use a mask, which I use a coffee mask today because I wanted to like exfoliate my skin, and then I always use like a cream or something and for my under eyes, or like my eyes period, and then I always use the patches up under my eyes, and of course my cream that I'm gonna leave on my face for that day, and my serum that I use for my face for that day. So that's why y'all see like my face is like very, very shiny and very healthy looking, and I just love when I give myself time to do my personal care for my body, other than, you know, just not having time, because I promise you your skin will thank you, because it will shine like a shooting star. So guys, what kind of personal care facial stuff do you guys use for your facial care of your skin? I'm always interested in like any type of like personal care body products that people use. I look at a lot of people's lifestyle videos, and they do share like their personal care routine and like the things that they use when they do their personal care, and I always love to see that because I'm a big personal care body girl. So if y'all want, y'all can drop down in the comments, let me know what you guys use for y'all personal care. Maybe it'll be something that I can add to my personal care cart that's on my in my room. And guys, give me some recommendations. Y'all know I love them. Give me some book recommendations. Let me know what books that y'all have read or on Kindle that y'all have really, really, really enjoyed. And y'all, there is another book that I'm actually reading, and I'm reading it off of my Kindle because I went to the store to actually pick it up, and it was a paperback book, and it was like just too damn much, and I just was not gonna pay that kind of money for that book. But it's a book that my coworkers have been so dying to get me to read, and it's called Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. So I'm actually also reading this book as well, and y'all, and I think I'm reading The Phantom Limb by Lucinda Berry. I also read another book by her, is like what was the name of that book? But and I don't know, I probably already returned it to Kindle, but I'll try to pop up a picture of it if I think about it while I'm editing this video. But the one that I'm gonna pop up the picture of, that was the very first book that I read by Lucinda Berry, and I actually did like that book. So Lucinda Berry will also be another author that is new to me and that I will be reading on some of her books. But I am reading Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, and I will tell you guys what I think about this book, because y'all know this is out of my norm. And another book that, or two other books that my coworker was speaking to me about is, I think I said the first one already was Kill Switch by Penelope Douglas, and the other one is The Ritual. I'm not quite sure who writes that book, but she is ranting and raving about The Ritual, so I don't know if I'm going to even try to read The Ritual or not. I have another coworker, Crystal. I think she said she tried to read The Ritual, but she just could not get through it, so I want to say she DNF'd that book. So me and her likes to kind of like read the same type of book, so I'm kind of scared of The Ritual, so I don't know if I will actually read that book or not. I don't know. If y'all have read that book, y'all let me know y'all thoughts about it, and I will just see if I will read that book. And guys, so this is the end of this vlog. It was just a little simple August TBR vlog, and I am glad you guys joined me. Always remember, you can like, share, and comment on this channel. All positive feedbacks are always welcome. I love to hear from you guys. And also, y'all, I wanted to start doing some shorts and some Instagram and TikTok little vlogs of the dab of the day. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, I think it is the drink, the outfit, and the book that you're reading for that day. So if you guys are interested in that, just let me know. Drop down in the comments and say yes, I would love to see your dab of the days. And I am very excited to even try to do that, because that just gives me more enthusiasm to get up, get dressed, get pretty, so that you can share your outfit and your book and your drink of the day with your viewers. So that would be a very good opportunity for me to just make sure I dob myself up and be pretty every day that I don't have to go to work, or I do have to go to work. So guys, again, every Wednesday and Sunday, Yolanda's Books love to put vlogs up about books and herself. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.